in the meantime, Game 6, Tuesday night. What do you think happens?
I think Phoenix comes out and I expect them to win the game out on the road. I know Milwaukee's a very difficult place to win and play in, but I just think both these teams are, again, I think they're good enough to win one game on each other's floor, and I think Phoenix is good enough to go to Milwaukee and win a basketball game.
I think they come out in that first quarter and they play extremely hard. I think depending on how well they do in that first quarter will decide that game. Because if they're still down as hard as they're going to come out and play, it's going to be a struggle. And I think right now the Milwaukee Bucks have found a rhythm defensively, but I think also offensively. And I think more guys will make more shots. They still didn't make a lot of shots at the beginning of the game,
right.
Milwaukee. They got going earlier. But I think Drew Holiday is a problem right now for the Phoenix Suns because he's in rhythm offensively.
Felt like the floodgates opened a little bit tonight for the Milwaukee Bucks offensively in a game that saw the two teams combine for 27 of 49 three-point shooting. That is a new NBA record for a single finals game, better than 57% for these two.
They shot it well. Boy, they shot it well.
Unbelievable.
I mean, Phoenix Suns, 2 games back-to-back, they shoot over 50% and they still lose this ball game.
Yeah, and Middleton and Holiday and Giannis. And again, what Giannis is doing, is on a historical pace in terms of, his shooting performances in the NBA Finals. And, Middleton tonight, Smitty, he was just hitting nothing but the bottom of the net.
What's interesting for Milwaukee is as the series shrinks down to now potentially 2 games left, so does the rotation for the Bucks because Mike Budenholzer went to Jeff Teague for a little while. He was minus 11 in about 7.5 minutes. So the question is, how many players are going to play in Game 6? Where else is he going to turn? Because it seems pretty clear he wasn't comfortable with Bryn Forbes being in the game. He hasn't really gone much deeper than 9 in this series anyway.
The thing that's impressive to me about the Bucks is that when Bud does push a button or he asks one of these guys to come in, they normally come in and they play well or they give him their all. We saw Portis, not play at all, and then he kept himself ready. So I look at the Bucks and I say these guys keep themselves ready to play. And I think if he called Forbes' number, I think he'll come in and he'll be ready to play. We know he can shoot the ball extremely well. Would not surprise me if he came in and had a big night.
Yeah, and I think for the Phoenix Suns, it might have to be a guy like Langston Galloway or Frank Kaminsky might have to get a chance to play. They play a lot of guys, a lot of minutes, but I'm Matt, I'm with you. I think both coaches are just shrinking the guys they're playing. They're going with the best 5 that they feel can win the ball game.
By the time we get to Game 7, it could be a 6-on-6 situation.
We're
just going to only bring one guy in, or we're going to limit it to our 4 best players on each side. P.J. Tucker had foul trouble tonight. Didn't maybe have the impact he might normally have on this game. Giannis, interestingly, was at -7, which has not been the trend at all for Milwaukee in this game either. But
somebody was counting wrong. I'm not sure who was keeping that stat, but
they got it wrong.
They got that wrong. He could not have been a -7. Impossible.
Bucks overcame the second largest deficit to start the second quarter in a finals win. Celtics overcame the largest back on June 12th against the Lakers. That was 21. Remember, the Bucks were down 16 twice in that first quarter, and that to me was as impressive as anything. As loud as this place was, and remember, Drew Holiday picked up 2 fouls midway through the first quarter. He had to leave the game for a little while. They're down 16. They're down 16 again. And then they finally got the offense a little bit flowing. And from that point on, Phoenix really couldn't stop them.
And I think Monty said it was the second and third quarter. But for me, it was the second quarter, man, because they stretched their lead. They cut the lead from the Phoenix Suns. But then they also extended the lead for the Milwaukee Bucks, but without Giannis. And that was impressive to me. They came out in that second quarter, both defensively and offensively, and took control of this basketball game. That was pretty much Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, Pat Connaughton, and Bobby Portis. Those guys played extremely well in that second quarter.
And for as well as Phoenix has played, the thing that's shocking to me is that I haven't seen that killer instinct in terms of that, okay, I got you down, I'm at home, Game 5, I'm up by 16, it's like, game's over, right? But they continue to let you back in the game, and they've done that to Milwaukee throughout this whole series. And I think that's given Milwaukee some confidence on the offensive side because Phoenix hasn't been able to really, like, kill the opponent, so to speak.